Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today is tattoos and piercings. I feel like I love these videos, so I wanted to do one. Plus I have a lot of piercings and a lot of tattoos, so I have something to talk about. I wrote on my book all the stuff I got and I rated them on a pain scale. I did my best. I know like pain scales aren't really the ideal measure, but it gives you an idea. And like the pain scales that I've watched in the past were pretty accurate, I mean, to me. So yeah, it might help you out. And then I'm gonna explain each tattoo, how painful it was, how the experience was, and why I got it. So I'm gonna do piercings first, since I feel like that's the fastest. Sorry, I wasn't picking my nose was itchy. So the first piercing I ever got was my first earlobe, and that was when I was like in the middle of elementary school, so I would say like 3rd or 4th grade, I don't know. And I remember going to a piercing shop near my house, and like I went in Greenpoint, and I begged my mom for like a year and a half, and I really wanted this piercing, and I kept begging her. You know, all the girls in school had like their ears pierced, and I wanted to be part of all that. And I begged her, and we went. I kid you not, like I regretted it, because when she pierced my first ear, it hurt me so much. I don't know if it had to do with me being young, but I remember like my ear just automatically was on fire. Like I felt like crying, and then the lady was like, "Well, I gotta do the other one," and I was like, you know what? It's okay. Like I just go keep the cash, you know, like. I didn't want to do it, and my mother forced me to do it. She was like, now that you wanted this so bad, you gotta finish it. I was like, okay. The first earlobe, I would rate like, I would say a 6 out of 10. It was really painful. It was painful to the point where like I didn't want to do it, but I wasn't screaming for my life. So the second earlobe, I wanted the second hole in my earlobe because I felt like then I could have more piercings and it would be more fun. And my dog is like doing crazy shit right now. It would be more fun, and like I could do hoops and then like a little stud. Like I had a whole plan. I begged my mom again. I was like, please, 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 please. And literally the same exact thing happened. Like I did not want to do my second hole. I was crying, like it was terrible. And to this day, I think the earlobe was the worst because it just all like, it's on fire. The actual piercing, I feel like it doesn't hurt. The gun is scarier because they did it with the gun. But the after effect, like your whole ear just swells up. Like you feel like you have a migraine. I don't know if I said this, but I did it around like 7th grade. I would rate it a 7 out of 10. Like it hurt more. I don't know if it had something to do with it being higher up my ear. My third piercing I got between like sophomore and junior year, and I got under my tongue pierced, like the webbing of my tongue pierced, and then I also got my ANTI-TRAGUS pierced, and I don't have those anymore. I do have the scar, I do have a picture, so I insert it. The ANTI-TRAGUS didn't work out because it rejected and my skin kept peeling. So now you can see the scar, and it's literally like 2 dashes. It looked nice, it sucked. Like it sucked. And most surface piercings have a high rejection rate anyways, so it just sucked. And under my tongue, I took it out because I got bored of it, and I figured it kept rubbing on my teeth. You know, it was just like a fun high school run. And I would rate that pain a 1 out of 10. Like I barely felt it under my tongue. Like you're supposed to have, or you have, I'm not too sure, no nerves in that area where they pierce it. You're not gonna feel it at all. Maybe you'll feel the pressure, like the movement. I'm not too sure, but like I just didn't feel it. And right here, I didn't feel it either. Like I didn't even know that it was done. The only time I felt something was when he was putting the ball on top, because he kept messing with his big ass fingers. So 1 out of 10. My 5th one was my tongue in the middle. And this is, I mean, it's not really a funny story, but my boyfriend at the time was like, hey, I'll get my snake eyes and you get the middle of your tongue pierced. And I was like, great, let's go. And it was the weirdest experience because, one, I was underage for all of these piercings, and I only had consent from my parent for 2 of them. So I don't know who the hell be doing piercings in New York, but like they did not want my ID. She pierced my tongue diagonally because my tongue was too short to pierce straight down. When she was piercing it, it obviously took her longer to pierce it diagonally than it would straight down. And I don't know if it was how she did it, or if it was her, or if it was just me, but it didn't hurt. Obviously it hurt to some extent, but it felt like more pressure than pain. So that was probably the easiest piercing, except for the two that I said I didn't feel, that I ever got. And people usually assume that it hurt, but it really didn't. It was maybe like a 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10. No, it just, like, I was appalled. But I would never do this again, and this is why I never take it out. The struggle you endure afterwards is ridiculous. Like, legit, it's ridiculous. I couldn't eat. Every time I ate, after it healed a little bit, I couldn't say banana in Polish, which is banana. I couldn't say that because my tongue was so swollen. S's and those types of letters didn't work, like, at all. Like, I couldn't say it. My tongue was so swollen. People thought I got my wisdom teeth taken out in school. It was ridiculous. And then after 2 days, I was able to eat, like, chicken. And I would, like, no joke, I would literally be like, let me eat this chicken in peace and not bite my tongue. They said you're not supposed to smoke after the piercing. I did. I didn't really care. I hid it from my mom for like a pretty long time. I don't know if she didn't notice or if she didn't want to deal with me, but either way I got lucky. Piercing number 4, I got my snake eyes pierced. This piercing actually hurt more than the middle of my tongue. A lot of people ask me how it works, and it goes straight through. Like, yeah. It goes straight through the tip, and you're not supposed to get it because it's harmful for your tongue and you could never speak again, or I don't know, like, I really didn't care. It just wasn't my concern at the time. I think I was like 16. This one hurt more. I would say it was like a 5 out of 10. The con about this piercing is that if you take it out, it immediately closes. Like, I had it re-pierced 4 times, and every single time you re-pierce it, it hurts even more because of the scar tissue, and it's harder to pierce. So I think the next time it falls out, I'm just gonna let it go. I wouldn't say that like I was crying or like I was hysterical. It was just a 5 out of 10. Like, I wish I had the little strip so I could, like, yeah. And after that, I don't know which came first. I don't know if I did my first cartilage or my belly button. I think it was my cartilage. So my cartilage I did in a different country. It was definitely my cartilage, now I remember. Cartilage I did in a different country in a piercing shop that ended up closing, which is a little mysterious to me, but I mean, I don't know. I did it in my mom's home country. My tongue, obviously, or my belly button or other places, it just felt, it went through smoothly. On my cartilage, I felt like she got stuck and then she went through, which hurts more. I wrote that it was a 5 out of 10, which I agree with. Like, it felt just like the tip of my tongue. It wasn't crazy. Afterwards, the swelling was a little crazy. The swelling with my snake eyes, it wasn't bad. The following year, when I went back, she pierced my second cartilage. It was pretty much the same thing. The first one kind of got like a little mad that I made another hole, so my whole ear swelled up, and like the first piercing swelled up too, and that was kind of like irritating because it would make the first one itchy as well as the second one. It healed really nice. She did a good job. And that's when I got my belly button pierced when I came back from vacation. I thought it was gonna hurt more because a lot of people told me that like the belly button really hurts, like it's terrible, like you won't be able to deal with it, it's really bad, like da 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 da. And I don't know if it's because I'm fat or if it's because the skin on top of my belly button wasn't like that crazy, like thick. But when he did it, I was just surprised. Like, I was so surprised that I didn't think it hurt at all, but it did. Like, I can't lie, it did. So I rated it a 4 out of 10. I feel like it was like a 3.5 actually, just 3. And then the next one I got was my tragus. And this one I had to re-pierce 3 times because it just kept acting up. I think the piercer that did it just was off by like a little amount. So when I would chew or open it and it would move, it would get irritated. And when I re-pierced it, that was my 14th piercing, because I count like piercing it once as 1 and piercing it twice as 2. And then I didn't get any piercings. Like, I re-pierced my snake eyes during that time, but I didn't get any like major piercings, nothing new, and I kind of just stuck with that. And then I got my 3rd cartilage piercing. I have like 3 in a row. That went fine. It didn't really get irritated. It was completely fine. When I re-pierced my tragus that last time, I also got my conch pierced. which is inside the ear. And that one really hurt. That one really hurt. Since I went to like a professional shop, like they really take their time and they like tell you to do breathing exercise, and it's just like a shit show. I wouldn't say it's a shit show, it's just like nerve-wracking because it's like so slow. And when she pierced it, she went so slow to make sure that it's in like the precise location, but it just hurt so much. Like it made me never want to get a piercing ever again. So I guess the pain level also depends on the piercers and how they do it. I'm not too sure. I mean, it just depends. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for next week. You know, subscribe, like, and comment if you enjoyed it. And yeah, bye.